Hello. No. Hello. So there is not going to be a definitely readers book club live tonight. We're planning to do it tomorrow, probably. Um, but we're not discussing the book yet. That's next week. Just so everyone knows, we're not discussing the book tonight. Which does remind me. Okay. We are reading this book, Mooncakes. This will be the book for the first part of June for the Definitely Readers Book Club. So it's a graphic novel. The girl has hearing aids. It is also LGBTQIA. It is a female and non-binary. But we're not discussing that tonight. Next week we will discuss it. Desi is not, she can't join us tonight. So tonight I'm planning on writing a little bit if there is no chatting, no conversations happening. And if not, it's just going to be a short live tonight. But hello, welcome. So if you've not joined the Discord for Definitely Readers Book Club, you can go and it is linked in my, you know where to go. You can join. Next week we will discuss the full book and then we will start reading, I need to get that book. The Magic Thief and the Whisper Heath by Effie LaRoe. Desi has, and normally she shows it, that she's not here tonight, she can't. So tomorrow night, we plan to do another live, so 2 this week. And we will discuss just some deaf topics, deaf culture, that kind of thing. And then if we've been reading any other books that we recommend. But just so everyone knows, I'm Katie James. This is my sign name. I am an aspiring author. I'm working on editing Water's Grasp right now. The plan is for it to be book 1 of 4, but they're all different characters that they follow. So they are technically considered like standalone. So you can read 1 and not miss anything and then read book 3 or whatever. That is my goal. That is my plan. That is what I have outlined. I am in the middle of drafting book 2 and the other 2 books are outlined already. So, one thing, since I have, so I actually got new hearing aids this week. I was really excited. Do I have them in? No, I had them in all day, and since I'm signing, they're not in right now, but they're so pretty. I have never had a color before, and also, that's one thing I do want to talk about. So, look how pretty they are. If you can't figure out, purple is my favorite color. Oh, so Hope, hi, welcome. They're working really well. So I got some headphones for Christmas that went over my old ones and they're smaller. So my headphones now don't fit it, but it's okay because for work, oh, 1 minute. Um, because they would connect to my hearing aids better. Like they just made it louder. So I was using that, but now it does like feedback because these are bigger than my old ones, which is fine. I guess I needed that. But now I have, because I'm using Phonak, I have a Roger, which this is like a mic, and you can use it on a table, up, or a person. And so for my work, when I'm in a meeting, I just set it up, and it's been fine. It goes directly to my hearing aids. But there's they're a lot louder than than my old ones. What did I say the other day? Oh, um, my kids were eating, and I said, "Please stop." They're like, and normally I can't hear it, and I was like, anyways, I do really like them. So two of the things that when I went to the audiologist this time, I was very, very, very specific about. One, I wanted a color. Like if I could, if the hearing aids that I was gonna get, if they were available in color, I wanted a color. Like not orange or an an ugly color, no. But hi Madison. Um but a I wanted a color. And then also what I wanted was more of the mold. So see, they're a half mold, so they don't do fully like in here. They just go like here. And the reason behind that is since the last two times. So the very first time, I think they were my third hearing aids because I had the same ones from the time I was 5 to 15. That's a that's a discussion later. um, and then I got some in-ear ones, and I had to use them for 2 years. And then as soon as I could, I got other ones. Oh, okay. The one, so my fourth pair, they started doing like these like universal molds, like small, medium, large, and they just never worked because I have glasses, and it would just like I would hit them, and they just keep falling out. So the next time I said, I don't like those, like that kind of mold, and the hearing aids were specific to using that, so I had to use it. So when I changed it, they gave me the bigger version of that, and it still didn't work. So this time when I went, I said, I want my old mold. I want the in the ear, like inside, where it will stay. I have glasses and like my hair goes, so no. And she's like, oh, are you sure? And I was like, yes. So this kind of mold is when you get the um and they make it specifically for your ears, and they've been really good. They have stayed, so that's nice. Madison, yes, it is a lot more comfortable, and I don't feel like they're gonna fall like every time that and it's really funny because um, I know that the book club is always they always hear me, see me, signs say, um, like since I'm like medically hard of hearing, um, my when I get the test and if they look, they're like, oh, because I am very clear on my speech, but I can't hear. So if my glasses come off, I can't see, so I can't reach your lips. And these help me. These help me feel better that they're gonna stay, and so I don't have to depend on always lip reading. Like I can actually listen. Um, since it's been so loud this week, I've had a few more headaches because I had just like stopped wearing them. And then my work was just like, you very clearly can see that you're not paying attention in the meetings. And I'm reading the captions, and they're like, you need to answer quicker. It's funny. Um, so Hope, like, the interesting that you say that because this is the first time in a long time that I feel like I really advocated for what I needed. When I so when I went to college, before college, here at least in Alabama, like where we are, we had to do college prep, and it was specifically through the vocational rehab services. So, and you got some money for college, like if you did the program. So I did that, and that taught you like how to advocate for what you need for your classes, and I had never had that before, and it was very very helpful. um so like when I got like my first like real job like after like not like non like retail job, but like actually doing what like my degree was in, right? um and I like advocated for like what I needed in the classroom, like how I need them to communicate to me. And then like, I moved like here, and I started working from home, and so it became more of a burden to tell everybody because I was just like, I'm at home, so it's fine. Like I can just deal with whatever. So like I stopped, and I had gotten new hearing aids right after my oldest was born, so 2018. Um, because my old ones just stopped working, like they were just not working. Um, and I had said like I walked in and I was like I really need like hearing aids, and it was a struggle because they were trying to figure out like how I could pay, and they found a program that my work could do. It was called Rave. Like now I don't qualify for that because they changed the requirements, which was very frustrating because I got them for free because my work said that I needed to have like hearing aids in order to like go to the meetings and like all this stuff. So they had to like fill out a form. But I went in and they're like, well, these are like your two choices. And I said, okay, but do you have any colors? And can I have a different kind of mold? And they said, no, these are your two choices. And I went, oh, okay, sure. And like, I mean, it was a month after like my oldest was born, and I just wasn't, I was still very, 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 very emotional. Very, very, very emotional. And so, yeah, I didn't advocate for myself. But this time, since I was buying them, like the VRS helped a little bit. Yes, they helped like 60%, which is better than insurance. Insurance says that they can pay it after 30%, like after you meet your deductible. So I would basically have to pay for the whole thing. Um, but since I was paying, I said, this is what I want. Madison, that's awesome about you got free tuition for college. Like that's amazing. I had some money from it, but I didn't have the full. But that's it. If you know like where to look and if you like, hey, normally you can get it. I also had like cart and I loved like that. Like she was amazing. I had the same woman like all 4 years. She was amazing. Just reading comments. So, and it goes back to the same thing with any oppressed people. Like, because deafness, you have the oppression, you have the ableist, who say that you should voice only, she should not learn sign, or like BIPOC or indigenous, like the marginalized. That I couldn't like remember the word. Um, that community like is always the person who has to advocate for themselves. Like they never, it never is like, oh, like how can I help you? No. And okay, so October, I think the book club, definitely readers. We read The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. I preferred Your Blood, My Bones, even though there was no deaf character specifically or signing in that book. She, because the book club, it focuses on books with deaf and hard of hearing characters or signing characters who are mute, or books written by deaf and hard of hearing authors. So Kelly Andrews is hard of hearing. I really wanted to like that book, and the second book was that I read of hers was better, but The Whispering Dark, they did not that the girl did not advocate for herself, and it really really frustrated me because it brought me back to always having to do it myself. Oh, that's good, Hope. Yes, yes. So the funny thing is I was talking with Desi. I had Mark Politer, and I like showed her, and I was like, I'm so excited. She goes, I had no idea that you could get colors as an adult. And I said, yeah, not all of they have specific ones that are colors, but not all of them have colors. But if you want them and they work with your hearing, you can do them. And she goes, I want blue or purple or pink. And I was like, yeah. So there is a lot to choose from. It was so last night I do a writing group. We do critique work with each other, and so we meet at the library on Tuesday nights. Tonight is Wednesday, yes. And I had my hearing aids in, and I was just so excited to show them because they have known my frustrations recently about my hearing aids. And I want to say it's the first time in almost 2 years that I have fully understood their conversations. Like, there are days that I don't go to the group because my brain is just tired and I need like a hearing break, and I just can't deal with trying the struggles of lip reading because most of them are very, very, very like soft spoken. They're very, or they get so excited, you know, they're talking over each other, and I'm like, Since starting to read books that are analyzing like deaf representation and delving more into like deaf community and culture, and like reading online like how you can advocate for yourself, is really changed my perspective. Because now, if I'm paying, you need to listen to me. You need to listen to me. If I am paying for it, if I am going to the doctor and I need you to understand what's happening, like, yeah, it gets frustrating and annoying that you're always the one who has to like support yourself, or who has to be like, hello, I'm still here, I'm still needing this. Yeah, it gets frustrating. But if you don't do it, who will? And for the deaf kids who have hearing parents, that is the struggle, because the hearing parents are hearing from the doctors, the hearing doctors, what they need to do, and normally it's not really what they need. So, Hope, you had a comment that you said, you wish that your parents had taught you this growing up and not having to learn it now. And like, parents at that time, they focused on just ignoring, pretending everything is fine. I actually think for the I guess I'm not gonna write tonight, it's fine. But I actually think that it's for the kids nowadays, because like my age and like younger are starting to advocate and understand what they need to do. I think that the kids that are growing up now will have hopefully an easier time and understand what they need to do. That's annoying me. I think that will happen in the future. Is it now? No. But because I'm teaching my kids to advocate for themselves. Like, if you need something, you need to let the teacher know. Let me or your dad know. Like, an adult know, like, what you need, why you need it, all of this stuff. And if I don't hear my kids, like, you need to get my attention and tell me again. Like, don't just say, I'll tell you later. I hate that phrase. Yeah. I think it will. I think it's improving, but at the time that we grew up, no. I had to learn it from books, from reading, from whatever. But yeah, I do really like them. They are purple. I'm going to keep I'm gonna keep saying that they're purple. Sorry, like, something happened. I saw some light flickering. Anyway. But yeah. Anyway, how is everyone tonight? Are you good? Are you doing anything special tonight? My plan, so back to writing and not hearing aids, but 1 minute. Never mind. Boundaries and can hold, yeah, that. So back to writing and things. I am redoing my website. I'm going to be moving. Not the shop right now is going to stay on Etsy. So if you want to see things, like, I still think this is my favorite. I think this is a book review bookmark. It has I love you, for your stars, and that kind of thing. That is my favorite, and this one. I love this one. The sticker. Oh, and I have chai tonight. But a happy reading, Mike. Anyways, so the shop is gonna stay right now on Etsy, but I was getting frustrated with my website. So I have been, the last few days, I have been looking for a new one, like where I can do it. So it's going to have a redesign. I'm going to try to keep some of the same things because I really do like it. And I just fixed it to what I liked last year. But the cost that I'm doing for it is just too expensive. So for now, I'm going to downgrade the cost of it, which might mean I might have to say goodbye to some parts of the website. Aww, that's good. Hi, Shay. Yeah, so, it's a little bit of a frustration because I wanted to love this website, and I love the design that I made because I did it myself. Part of my job had been to design websites. So, but I was using Wix, and it's, for how many websites I saw that recommended Wix as the wonderful website to use. No. And I don't even have a lot of media on it to make it slow. But anyway, the shop will stay for now. It's going to stay on Etsy until I don't know when. So it'll stay there. And then, but I'm going to move. I'm trying out a few different places. Maybe I will just move it to Shopify. Maybe go ahead and plan for selling books. Maybe. Square Space, I think, or Square Up. I don't know which one. Maybe. Hi, Delia. Hope your eyes. So anyways, we're just, I had planned on writing tonight because Desi couldn't join. We will, whoop, technology failure. We will do a live tomorrow night with Desi. We will just discuss whatever. I do get my hair cut tomorrow to fix my issue. You can read. You know, I had my plan tonight was just to sit and chat for a few minutes, maybe do like write for 10 minutes, whatever. I got a new writing desk that I love, and I have been using it every day. It's made me excited about writing again, because for a little bit of time I had gotten a little bit from like starting in February until recently, just a little bit, like I had depression and like I needed a mental break. I didn't mean to really take so long on TikTok, but with everything, with it getting banned and like all of this stuff happening, I just was like, got a little bit of a burnout with writing and trying to just hustle with everything. So I just kind of like took a step back. I read a lot in those months, but I am excited and I'm back to writing. I'm back to writing book 2 and finishing the edits of book 1, and then I just changed something, so now I have to like book 2 so I can fix it for book 1. And I have outlined 3 and 4, so we're rolling. At the same time, I'm trying to finish editing my Death Fairy Tales. There's 12. It'll be like more of an anthology. So but I'm working. But now I keep my typewriter, my keyboard here at my new desk, and then at my work desk back here, I have a different one. Oh, it's fine. We can chat, and then I will, when I'm ready to leave and write for an hour tonight, because that was my plan. You guys might be proud. Oh. Ooh. To keep it all. This was my week. I have planned everything out of what I need to do. Like yesterday it said that I needed to finish, or I needed to start my new website, like start the research, and I figure it out and start the design for the new one. I needed to write a blog. Didn't do that, but instead I wrote 2 chapters. I felt that was fun. Today I wanted to record TikTok, and so I did that, and I edited it, and it'll post tomorrow. So I'm back to my schedule, but I'm doing it lighter, so it's not as like a heavy schedule. Yeah. And then I did finish, well, I read it really quick. It was very, very easy read. So I read it, but I forgot to stop and go back and like write down some notes. So I'm gonna read it again because it's short. It was really cute. It was really sweet too. So I'll finish that, and then that's being weird. I will post my notes in Discord, and next week we will talk about it. We did reach out to AC Toy again just to see like what days she had available in June to discuss her book, The Daisy Chain Reaction. So we're just waiting for that. She's been really, really busy with the indie author revolution. It's a Discord that she helped start, and it's really supportive for like indie authors, like how you can find artists and like editors, and that kind of thing. But I'm going to make a post about it soon. I would love to work with a deaf or hard of hearing illustrator for character art, because I'm not that kind of artist. Like, so if anyone knows a deaf or hard of hearing artist, I would prefer, since the book will be full of deaf and hard of hearing characters. No. So I plan to make a post and search for that. I've tried like looking through like Fiverr, or I've reached out on that indie author revolution IAR, but they don't have anyone listed yet who is deaf or hard of hearing. But I've contacted to ask about it. My goal this weekend is to have that post. So we'll see. But yeah. But I'm back. I'm back to what I was doing before, and I am feeling better. My brain is feeling better, but I need a new therapist. Already decided. Anyway, okay, so 10 more minutes and then I'm just going to shut it down. But what's one thing in the last month you wish that you could have made a different choice? And this comes off of a discussion last night with my writing group. One of the girls, we were sitting and talking and doing, what if I didn't pick this thing, but did this? What would happen? Like, what would have changed in my life? So I'm curious if you've had any recent, what if I did this different? Like thinking about it. For me, I can't say this last month, because really, other than trying to figure out like where my kids would do like preschool next year, but I did take a trip that I like, if I had not taken the trip to Disneyland, and I did really enjoy myself and I needed that break, but at the same time, it's our anniversary weekend and probably should have stayed home. Anyways, so that we just got discussing it last night, and she was just like, like I don't necessarily want to like introspect and like see like maybe I should have changed and done something different, but she does want to do a like, what if I could change it? What would happen? Who would be different? What would my life be like? So it doesn't have to be like last month. I was just curious if anyone had anything like recently they're like, oh, I made the wrong decision. Okay, I have a little bit of a like squirrel brain tonight. That is not the sign for squirrel, but my brain is woo, woo. I recently joined a Discord that is doing 30,000 words in 3 days. I missed the first one. It was in May, but they're doing one in July. Is the next one is the next one, July 2nd to 4th. You would have to write minimum of 10,000 a day. I want to do it, but I'm not. I'm gonna lightly do it if I don't make that goal of 30,000. But I do want to do 2 days where I'm just focused on writing. Yeah. But do you think you could do that? 30,000? My biggest day of words, I did 8,000. And I wrote for like 6 hours. It was a long time. It was a long time. But oh yeah, so like 30,000 in 3 days. So if you are aware or have a writer or have friends who are writers, they do, well, it's closed now. Like, there was a lot of drama that happened in the last 2 years. A lot of mismanagement, and what the program started as was not what it ended, and it was awful. And I got out of that 2 years ago. Anyways, NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. It's normally in November. The full month is 30 days. You write 50,000 words. They also do they did a camp in April that you could choose what you wanted to do, like edit so many words or so many hours, write whatever your goal was. You could just put it in yourself, but it was to keep the momentum going. I did it for like since 2010. Most of the years I did it in 2010, 2012, 2014 and 15, 2017, 18, well, then 2017 to 2022. So I did it a lot of years. Like it started 2006, I think. Anyways, a lot of drama that happened. Rebecca Thorne on here, really good author. She has the book Can't Spell Treason Without T, I think. I think that's right. I like their content. They have a lot of like tips, a lot of information for new authors because she's been both trad published and indie published and self-published. So she's had all. She had the like breakdown of everything that happened. Anyway, They do 30,000 for that 30 in 3 days, and then Nano did 50,000 in 30 days. I was like, ah, yeah. So hope that's a really good like point. Not really changing things, but just being able to do what you need to do, what you want to do. That's a good one. Sometimes I get, so I have ADHD. um, so sometimes, often, if I get overwhelmed, I get very stuck and I can't just move past it. That's why it took me more than a year to start editing this book, because I got just like overwhelmed, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then I broke it down into pieces, and now I could edit it, and then I changed something big. So I've had to stop book 2 to fix book 1 to make sure it doesn't bleed into book 2. I will get it done. My original plan had been to release something in November. I'm gonna still try. I'm gonna try. Specifically, November 2nd, All Souls Day, because that was a special day in the book. But yeah, trying to explain like just like the paralysis of I can't do it, and you lose all that time just going, how do I do it? Like trying to explain that does not go over well. It does not well. It does not go well. It just like my sister-in-law is the same way, and she's really good about like getting me out of what it is, and so I've been trying to help her with her things, but um, my parents didn't understand. Like they just did not understand. It, Eric understood, but he just says, just do it, just do it, and I'm like, that doesn't work for me. Um, I lost my train of thought. So for me, I get very hyper focused on things. So if I'm reading or even if I'm working, I will, like today, I realized I didn't eat breakfast or lunch. It was 3 p.m. and I had stood up 2 times today. Like I have to really try to remember, and like reading, I can't stop reading a book. If I stop the book, more than likely I will not pick it up again and I will not finish it until way later. And then I'll have to read it again. So if I start a book at like 7 at night, I will stay awake all night to finish the book. It's not very healthy, but like I can't stop my brain. Like I've tried to put it down, and then I just get anxious and I get like almost sick. And so then I pick it up and I finish. If I've already read it, I can, and I'm just doing a reread. I have a few like series that I do rereads every year. And I just put it down and I can pick it up anytime because it's a favorite or it's something I know and I'm comfortable with it. Yeah. Um, the other day I went to go pick up my kids from they're doing a play school. Some teaching, some playing this summer. And I went to go pick them up because they're 6 and 3. And it was 5:15, and they said, "Why are you late?" Because I had told them that my plan is this summer I will pick them up between 4:30 and 5. And it was like 5:15, 5:30, and they're like, "Why are you late?" And I was like, I was working, and they're like, "But you were done." And I was like, I didn't realize I was done. Oh, I'm sorry. So when you go to the doctor, is that something that you're going to discuss with them about, like trying to make sure that you can eat and all the nausea? Okay. So Julia, I think for me it's a comfort read. So I'm not sure if you watch TV, but do you watch like a show that you like that you've already like watched before? So I'm sure you're aware, but I am a Doctor Who fan nerd. My background on my phone used to be the inside of the TARDIS, and then I had kids, and so now I changed it. But I will watch. Like I've already seen. I haven't seen the last two of the new seasons, but I've already seen all of them, and I will watch them again. Like I'll watch them again. Yeah, so Hope says it like yes, it's like I know I need to sleep or I want to be reading and it's just kind of just like sitting and being able to relax with even though my mind is still like imagining the scene and what is happening in the book like I can like I can see it and instead of watching TV, like I'm reading a comfort read. I have specific books that I read only when I feel like I need a good cry. And so I'll read that book because I know it will make me cry. I have like specifically this one series, and it's an old one. It's Salona Andrews. It's a husband and wife team. It's the Kate Daniels, and I've talked about it before. Right now, I think there is 12 main books, but they're like 150 pages. Like they're not long. And now there's like three books in a like a not really like it's her later years. Um, so like her son is older, like it like skipped 8 years. And every time that I read it, I find something that I didn't realize happened in it or that I had missed because I was just like gobbling it up. Yes, yes, hope. I love when there is a story within the story. Um, and if it is like, so rereading or watching the same TV show again is not for everyone. It's not. Um, when I'm in like a reading slump, when I just like I can't pick up a new book because it just I'm not finding it interesting, or I don't want to read something new, but I want to read, I will pick up a series. So like um so the interesting thing is I have two series that I will listen on audiobook because the sound of their voice, half the time I fall asleep too, but it's very soothing. And so I have two that I will do that way. So like if I am cross stitching and I want to just listen, I will listen to that because I can't watch TV and cross stitch. Like since I'm having to read the captions, like I can't cross stitch and like I can watch something I've already because I won't miss anything. Um, but it's like an old friend. Um, I do sometimes, typically, I will find something new that I missed before, or I enjoy a different place, like reading. Um, what series was that? I'm not sure if I should mention the series. Um, is Anne Bishop The World of the Others? Hmm. It's the other series. Reading it after everything that has happened since January with all the DEI and all of that, like reading the series now, um, it hits different because yes, like because it specifically is talking about like, you know, humans first, humans last is like the theme in the first book or in the book. It's just five books, I think. Anyway, but the others who are they're technically like they're supernatural. They're like shifters, vampires, elementals, like that kind of thing, right? They're termed the others. Their real name is the Terre Indigene, so indigenous. Like, um, they say not the first, like not human, like because the humans are saying like humans first, humans last. Like we put each other first, not the others. Like we are we are who is important. But the others, they're saying the first humans and the last humans, and then they're gone. Like that's how they're going to deal with everything that's happening. Because it's kind of like a war going on. And so after everything that has happened since January, I'm reading it different now. um, oh, absolute. There's completely books that I don't read again. Like the very first book that our in-person book club picked was so awful. Awful. Like, I mean, I finished it, I read it, because I was like, I'm not gonna go to this book club and not read the book. I should have DNF'd. It was the Southern Woman's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Gary Hendricks, I think. It's like stuck in my brain. I immediately put that in a little free library and I went, see ya. It was awful. But at the same time, like, I have a book that I recently read. What is it? Half Sick of Shadows. It was okay. It was fine. I'm not gonna read it again, but it's pretty, so it's gonna sit on my shelf. Um, Julia, it's Anne Bishop. The series name is called The Others. The first book is called Written in Red. There's some trigger warnings. There is some of the humans have some abilities, like they can see the future. They're prophets, but they can only see the future when they cut. So the first book is called Written in Red. And each book like ends, so you don't necessarily have to read the whole series, but it completely ends in the fifth book, like all together. So like you have the people who cut, and they can see the future. So humans have decided that they need to control and like to take care of them, but instead they pretty much just cage them, and they then cut them for profit, because you can lead them to what they see in their future by questions. So she escapes, and she escapes because she wants to live, and she doesn't want to be controlled. And she goes to a courtyard, a place where the others live. And it's in a town, like a normal town. They have like, the others have like a specific like neighborhood, and then the humans have, right? And she ends up working for them because they don't see her as prey, because she has sweet blood. That's what it's called. It's actually specifically called is Cassandra sang. Literally, I'm probably saying it wrong. Literally prophet blood. But so they end up protecting her from being like forced back to being used. And so she works with them because they don't see her as prey, because she has the sweet blood. That's what they call it. And instead, she ends up seeing what's happening and like helping them, and how they work together, and how some of the humans work together with the others. It ends up changing what it means to be human in this world. It's actually, this is one of her series that is actually okay to share. Some of her writing is very triggerish. That's not a word. but it is one of my favorites. And I have the physical books, I have the Kindle, like the e-books, and I have the audiobooks because I never know like how I want to read them. There is a spin-off and series of this called The World of the Others, and they're okay. I have reread one of them, and that was it. I didn't like I don't reread those, but the original series I will. No, you're welcome. Okay, so I think I'm going to end tonight. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to write for 30 minutes and then I'm going to go to bed. But I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Thank you for just letting me chat to the world and listening. Tomorrow night we will do the Definitely Readers Book Club live. It is not on the book. The next book that we are reading is Mooncakes. Mooncakes. It is, very, very, very short. It is a, not comic, graphic novel. We're discussing the full length next week on the 11th. But tomorrow, Desi and I are just going to sit and we're going to chat with whatever you guys want to talk about. If you want to show some signs, if you want to talk about anything deaf culture or the community, like, we're going to be here to talk about it. If you have more questions about my new hearing aids, we're going to talk about it. Yes. Okay. All right. Have a good night and happy writing and reading.